Okay, this is a little comping video here. This is just using simple stuff that everybody probably knows already, and here's what I like to do with it to make things sound a little hip. So let's say we have this G major 7, A minor 7, and D7, and I'm using all the voicings with the root on the 6th string. So first thing I would do is explore some extensions here. Over the 1 chord, I would, usually I don't like the 7 on the sound of a tonic chord, so I'm going to change that to 6. And while we're at it, let's add the 9th there. So we have the root, the 6th, the 9th, and the 5th. I think it sounds much better than this. Back to this. Okay, let's add that with everything and see how it sounds. Alright, we're getting somewhere. So the next thing I would probably do is the 2 chord you could leave by itself, but sometimes sus, making it a sus always sounds good. And you can always slide. No, not like that, but okay. Now I feel like it still needs a little something, so I'm going to change the D7. I'm going to use a tritone sub into G major 7. And here's basically a basic way to do it by playing A flat 7. See, they share these 2 notes, which is why it works. So let's hear that first. I'll use the sus now for the 2 chord. But I never like the way this sounds. This is like, this doesn't sound very hip. So what we can do is we can change it into the sharp 11. Let's see what that sounds like. Well, I added a 9th there too, actually. So that sounds pretty good. I don't just like using the sharp 11 because it sounds too much like the regular hokey D7. And if you're playing with a bass player, this note may or may not work. So that's why I probably wouldn't use this. But I do like the sound of it when there's a 9th there. See, we have A flat, F sharp, C. No, sorry. A flat, G flat, B flat, D. Sharp 11, or with also a 9th. Let's listen to that. To the sus. And there's only so long you can do that for, so let's add some passing chords, I guess we could call them. So one thing we can do is approach the 2 chord with a 5 chord. And we're going to stick with the trend of using these voicings with our root on the 6th string, because we're just using things we know, basic things all based off these shapes here. So I guess the 5 of the 2, right, would be E7. Let's hear what that sounds like. No, wait. Whoops. Here's the basic one. Sounds a little hokey, doesn't it? So for that 5 of 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a B flat 7. And what I'm going to do is change this into the stock B flat 13 that everybody knows. And then that should make it sound a little better. Let's see. And while we're at it, why don't we make this A7 that we use also a 13. Okay, so that's one way we could kind of add a little bit of variety to the way we're comping. So to review, we started with G major 7, A minor 7, D7. We changed G major 7 to G major 6, 9. And you could find these notes if you just know which of these is what. So this is the root, this is the 7th, that easily changes to the 6th, the 3rd goes to the 9th, and we stay with our 5th. Then we also turned our 2 chord into a sus. And then we turned our 5 chord into the tritone sub, A flat 13. And you can use any 13th voice you like. You know, a lot of people use this one. So I'm just using what I know and what I like to use, and just some simple ways to add some variety. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't play the root when there's a bass player involved, so I'm going to take out the root. I'll play it with the root first, and then I'll play it without the root, and we'll see what that sounds like, okay? Oh wait, sorry, let's start that again. Okay, so have fun.